Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, outsiders of all ages, do you need a new running backs coach, Texas fans? Apparently, you've got one, and we'll break that name for you coming right up. I certainly approve of at least the first name. It is the Outsiders, brought to you by Poncho, and it is so damn cold outside. It's like 20 degrees where I am. We want to get you thinking about springtime. Let's talk springtime poncho shirts, short sleeves for when the weather gets warmer. These bad boys. I own the two in the middle, and I'm wearing one of them. I'll show you the Pinos Altos in 1 second. But you got the Buckhorn, you got the Bonito. There's so many different choices. This is my favorite kind of poncho shirt. Short sleeve, mother of pearl snap, Western style. Let's go. We love those, but here's your Pinos Altos. Here it is right here. Look at this nice design. Look at that. See that? See the little design in there? How pretty. See how pretty? It's wonderful. PonchoOutdoors.com. Tell them that Orange Bloods Live sent you. Tell them the Outsiders sent you. You'll get the best shirt on planet Earth. Our man Jason's rocking a poncho down there too. Look at that.
The Dixie Chicken. I finally made the venture up to the Great Northwest and went to Bo's house and picked up 3 poncho shirts. They're badass, man.
Pardon the correction. Isn't it the Ditch Chicken?
Oh.
Yes.
What'd you call it?
This is why.
Right?
This is why you read the promotional announcements, and I sit back here and look like.
Are you a closet Aggie, sir?
The Dixie Chicken is one of my favorite places with beer and a rattlesnake, but I think that is the Ditch Chicken.
Ditch Chicken is correct. All right.
Yes.
I'm a branding mastermind. My bad.
Nyla, she's looking in the Ditch Chicken.
I'm just saying, Jason, you're lucky you came when you did because you got the black flannel that I gave you, the checkered one. That was the second edition of that because I already stole the Long Canyon the first time when you were sitting in my box of fun. But I ordered you a new one. The Ditch Chicken was next. If you want to come this week, I was wearing the Ditch Chicken out in the cold.
Speaking of a dark flannel, I think that's what our man Chance Mox got on up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that bad boy. It's like he's about to go cut down some trees or bring somebody some ice in the 30s. Man, that is nice. Looking good. Bo Edge is not wearing a poncho tonight. Is that true?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes, you are. My bad.
I just
Bo got
have a
one.
UT vest on top of it. This
There
bad
it
boy
is.
is
Look at that. See, look at all the patterns. Long sleeve and short sleeve and stripe patterns and flower stuff. There's all kinds of stuff going on with Poncho. Go to PonchoOutdoors.com. Let them know you heard about it on the Outsiders. All right, here are your Outsiders. Our man in the upper left is not only the quarterback, he's not only the Mach 5, he gets his own bit as of tonight. We are debuting the Mach 5 Top 5. That's coming up later on. It is a lot of fun to say. I just realized it is the perfect name. Chance Mock, and it's a Wednesday. What are you drinking?
There we are. There's Chad over there.
I do it every day, and I can't get it right.
I figure if you can mess it up, then it's okay if I did because you are the professional out of the two of us. You know what? Today is a nice light day. I did not even put because I'm out of my wonderful, incredible key lime juice. So it's just straight MVP vodka and water. That's about as boring as you can get.
Already.
Chance, I'm going with half of that because I spent some good time at Hayes City Store and Wimberley on Saturday, and I'm just in a dry out mode. We're going with just the water. Just the water tonight.
Wimberley got the best of you?
Whoo, I'm telling you, that Hayes City Store Old Fashioned started it off, but it did not finish it. There were a few after that. We had a great time on Saturday, though. Shout out to Hayes City Store. Your lower right is always entertaining. It is always debonair, and it is always drinking something weird. Jason, Dick, what are we drinking?
See, I've set the bar too high for myself, and I'll tell you, it's basic this week because it's too goddamn cold to make it to the novelty drink store. All right, so I have just a Rockstar energy drink, but if you look closely, I've got a Rockstar Silver Ice.
There you go.
As my beard continues to gray, I think Silver Ice is a great rap name for me. What do you guys think?
I was gonna say we've all got a little silver ice going on, totally.
Yeah. You also notice it says Rockstar Pure Zero, which coincidentally is the same number of job interviews I've been on. So that's great.
There it is. Yes, great. Silver Ice, the official sponsor of the Outsiders when everybody's growing things out. Here it is. Let's see what Silver Ice looks like. Give us your reaction.
Nothing warms your soul on a 20-degree day like a Silver Ice.
It is.
Did it
That's
get right
what
to
they
the
say.
cockles of your heart?
In your best Ron Burgundy voice, you should say, "Silver Ice was a bad idea."
It's a bad choice. Your
I'm in a
lower,
glass case of emotion.
your lower left happens to be wearing a left field hat from Last Stand. We'll give him credit for that. He's also your country gorilla. It's Bo Edge. Bo, what are we drinking?
Whiskey. Tonight we went with Angels MV Triple Oak.
Yeah. He got to the fancy version later. For whiskey. Just
He got really excited and went, "Whiskey."
It's too damn cold to come up with something, It's
the,
Angels MV Triple Oak and Coke Zero, and everybody can give me shit because I mix decent whiskey with Coke, but if not, I drink too much of it, and it just doesn't go well. So this is my way. This is my way to keep things level, even kill. Some people use Rogue Shop. I just use a chaser.
Bo goes to the whiskey
Chance
shop.
knows what I'm talking about. If I go in the straight brown water, it gets like
Yeah.
Yeah, you end up with $97 of Taco Bell for 3 people.
the chaser,
like 5 empty bottles, and people wondering why did we just go do that?
The chaser is what keeps Bo on the show till the very end. We're happy about the chaser. We're really happy about that. We're also glad you're here in the chat. If you want to jump in like H Dog did, and just throw us some emojis, that's cool. If you're Chris Bennett and you need clarification, no, not the dish chicken.
That works.
Although that would be good. The dish chicken, you could tell them that out of the ballpark, and maybe
when I meet you in the Yeti yard, Jason, for beers in the game,
Yeah,
you can wear the dish chicken.
Let's go.
And ATX Bates thinks Chance looks like a 40-year-old version of B Rabbit. He kind of does that a little bit. Yeah, he looks like he's just
because I'm a white guy with a beanie on.
That's pretty much.
He's been on 8 Mile for a while.
I'm just saying, B Rabbit would not be wearing the same size shirt as Chance. He would be in like one of those like mediums.
I don't know. Once he got so super successful, that's what guys do. They fill out a little bit, all right?
Eminem is a munchkin.
Comfort weight. That's what they call that. Or love weight. Comfort or love weight. Either way. Whichever way you want to go. Gentlemen, I'm excited to tell you that you already had, one handsome Chad in your life. Apparently you're getting another one, because Texas needs a running backs coach. There were 3 candidates that our guy Anwar Richardson of Orange Bloods threw out earlier in the evening. Apparently things have progressed pretty quickly, and now reports are out there. CBS, I believe, was the first to throw it out. Anwar has confirmed it. Orange Bloods has confirmed this, and Chad Scott, not Michael Scott, but Chad Scott, the West Virginia running backs coach, looks like it's going to be the new coach. Georgia Tech's guy, Norvell McKenzie was looked at. Apparently Nebraska's guy, EJ Barthol, was also in consideration. Those two may have used this situation to, a little extra from the home school. But it looks like Chad Scott of West Virginia might be your new running backs coach. So anybody got a reaction here? Bo, excited, pumped, glad it's over?
I don't know enough about the running backs coach, but based on the limited amount of research that I did, which is a hell of a lot more than Jason Dick did to my right, I'm going to give you a name to bet your friends on.
Ditch chicken.
There we go. Ditch chicken. Wager all your friends that the next portal transfer to the University of Texas will be Jaheim White. You can call him or what'd you say, Don? Jaheim White, 5'7", 195 pounds. So he's a plug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Chance, would you agree that's not a guy that you're expecting to burn up necessarily at 5'7", almost 200 pounds?
No.
That's a guy that's going to run over some sons of bitches.
He looks like, it sounds like Ray Davis when he was at Kentucky.
He's been West Virginia's lead running back for the last 2 years, and just a guess, no prognostication, but we've all been talking about how Texas had a goal line problem. We've all been talking about how Texas needed some backs in case CJ Baxter isn't healthy to be the power guy to go with the other guys that are in the rotation. It would seem to me, haven't watched a ounce of film on Jaheim White. And I may not even be saying his name right, but the tea leaves would say that Jaheim White will be in the transfer portal at some juncture, and his destination has already been picked.
Okay. There you go. There it is. That might be part
and
of it.
And if we could telepathically take a 5'7", 195-pound power back to the semifinal game a few months ago, we could maybe win that son of a bitch. I'm not asking for much, just 4 carries from a Ray Davis clone.
You think maybe Sark's trying to just channel back to that moment and figure out a way to get it done.
Sark has proven that when he sees a problem, he fixes said problem. So he realizes he has a running back power game problem. So he went and got a preeminent power back.
Yeah. By the way,
we needed a power bottom. We recruited Jason Dick to join the fold of the outside.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. By the way, Chance, it's funny you mentioned Ray Davis because one of these other guys coached Ray Davis, Georgia Tech guy, the Norvell McKenzie. He coached Davis at Vanderbilt.
Before he transferred to Kentucky.
Yeah, there you go. Right. They got him out of Kentucky, and he coached him when he was at Vanderbilt. I knew Ray Davis's name had popped into my head tonight, and that's why. So there you have it. And Big Cheddar says, yes, glad to welcome another Chad into the 40 Acres fold. There you go. See, Chad, Big Cheddar Gibson says, welcome in another Chad. It is the most powerful name known to man. So Big Cheddar, you know all about it. All about it.
Congratulations to Chad Scott and welcome to the family. But more importantly, has there been a move? He gets to go from Morgantown, West Virginia to Austin, Texas. I mean, you might want to ease yourself in. Okay. You might have to wean yourself off the awful. Like if you were to rank college towns, Austin has to be in the top 10, right? And I can't count high enough to get to Morgantown. That's like one of the worst, right?
The only disadvantage, Jason. The only disadvantage, well, I guess it's kind of an advantage. You can come to Austin and you could drink for a day and not get one mason jar's worth of what you've been drinking in West Virginia. Like the alcohol is going to get a lot, more measure, a little more. It's going to smooth out a little bit from what you've been dealing with.
I mean, just think. There are some people that like what they sell on Breaking Bad. West Virginia is going to be a hell of a party town for them. There are some people that like the TV show Moonshiners. West Virginia is going to be their spot.
There's going to be somebody named
for everybody.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody named Tickle living at least 3 doors down.
Tickle.
Don't be making fun of Tickle. That's a badass son of a bitch.
He can do some moonshine. But there's a little movie that I got hooked on. Have you ever been watching Netflix and like a movie just pops up and you're like, why not? And then you get like 3 minutes into it. You can't figure out why you're watching it. You can't turn it off. Kind of like Tiger King was for me.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show called, I think it's The Wild Whites of West Virginia.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
Might be the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. This family, just to give you the 2-second cliff notes, their family going back to the matriarch and patriarch do nothing but dance, drink, and do drugs. And they have figured out a way to live solely off the government with disabilities and all sorts of checks. And nobody in town, they are the biggest clowns. Wow. Like, some are in jail for murder. Like, it's the wildest thing you've ever seen.
I'm adjusting my career plan right now. You can live entirely off the government? What do you think?
Wild Jason, Whites, I've got to tell you that I had a job lined up for you, but that job beats that. So I'm going to say, go be one of those people.
Yeah, okay. You got to give it a shot. I was
going to say it's crawfish season. So my neighbor's company, Hoodoo Crawfish, they could use a front man for all these crawfish boils, to kind of like a hype man.
Yeah.
But they only, I mean, they're paying crawfish. It's really good crawfish.
Oh, okay.
They need a hype man.
Silver ice. They need silver ice. Let's go.
Silver ice, Jason. Boom.
All right, ATX Bates, I see your super chat. It will derail us. So before we do that, before we derail, I already can sense the derailment. Let's get one of our great sponsors thanked here, and we will start with the good folks at Covert Ford. That means you've got to see Sergio sitting and his wife standing. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Sergio Garcia, professional golfer.
And I'm Angela Garcia, a 7th-generation Texan. And as a child, I grew up on a ranch in the Hill Country, and we had countless Covert Ford vehicles on that ranch. I saw firsthand just how reliable Covert is and how their customer service cannot be beat.
And just like in golf, being reliable, on point, and consistent is the most important thing. So if you want the best of the best, visit our friends at Covert.
Sergio ain't wrong. If you want the best of the best, Covert Ford right there on 183 is the answer. Go in and see outsider Christopher Abbott right there on the floor. Sits right next to Kenny Covert on the floor. They're both there all the time. Whatever you need. If you want to come up with the top 5 Mach 5 of vehicles, whether it's a Ford Raptor, a Bronco Raptor, a Mustang, whatever it is you want, Covert has it. And they will help you before the sale, during the sale, and once you own the vehicle after the sale to get your repairs done. Covert Ford, they've been here for 100 years and beyond for a good reason. They take care of their people from start to finish. It's Covert Ford right there on 183.
There you have it. Thanks to Covert Ford. Thanks to Sergio and his wife, Bo, and all golf fans. Did you catch the Tiger Woods misread in TGL? Did you catch that moment?
I did not. I didn't see the TGL this week.
That was solid. So they had a yardage. They told Tiger, he asked, what is it? And they said it's 99. They meant 199. Tiger hit 99. And right as he's drawing back, one of his teammates goes, does he have a wedge? And Tiger hits this beautiful, 100-yard swing because he's Tiger Woods. And then he just like collapses in embarrassment. He's like, that's one of the most embarrassing moments of my golf career. They're like, Tiger, 99, man. You don't know how this works. We all take the one off. 199. What are you doing? Yeah.
I'm going to say the part where his wife was chasing him down the driveway with a 5-iron may be more embarrassing, but that's up there.
Of his career, Jason. The career. Just
that doesn't count.
Right, inside the career.
She did have a golf club.
I think that's what he meant.
Jason, I'm sure you have a story like that in your history.
All of them, okay?
It's just a Tuesday night for Jason.
Yeah, with all the women you've married and you've got a story of somebody chasing you with an inanimate object.
Bo, I wasn't sure if you meant the driveway story or being off by 100 yards, but yeah, I got plenty of both, okay? Plenty of both.
I've done the off 100-yard story, but it was just me. Like that was just my golf game that did it. All right, ATX Bates, here we go. $4.99 and a super chat. Thank you, sir. Buy or sell. Outsiders cast for Anchorman 3. Chad is Ron Burgundy. Jason is Brian Fontana. Chance is Champ Kine. Bo is Brick Tamlin. And Blake is Veronica Corningstone.
Oh, Blake. Not even here.
Hold on. Wow. Dad cannot be Ron Burgundy because he doesn't have the flowing locks. I'm not saying I'm not Brick, but I got the hair that could pull the Ron Burgundy, not Chad.
Well, and here's the thing. You've got a better chance of Bo reading whatever's on the teleprompter than Chad.
Yeah.
That may be true. We're
San Diego.
We're gonna have to sell. We're gonna have to sell Bates, and mainly because Blake looks nothing like Christina Applegate. I just can't go that far.
Blonde wig on Blake, he can pull it off.
I just don't know if we can go that far. By the way, Bates, you're gonna want to be here. You're gonna want to make sure you're focused at around. I'll probably do this around 9:00. The debut of the Mach 5 Top 5, and whenever we do this, there's gonna be a topic. You all are invited to jump in. Chance is going to present his top 5 of something, and then we are all going to look at it, maybe do some edits, maybe do a little, hey, take one out, add one, things like that. And then at the end, I will hopefully be able to determine for the outsiders, the ultimate outsider opinion, because some of this is going to be Longhorn stuff. So y'all get too into your Longhorn stuff. I got to back away from it, and we'll give what did you call me, Bo? The arbitrator of doom?
The arbiter of truth.
The arbiter of truth. That's right.
If you do your job successfully, eventually we'll buy you a cloak, like Harry Potter style, and you can flip up your hood and be the arbiter of truth.
Arbiter of truth. So we're going to have that.
Real handy on Festivus days.
ATX Bates, I feel like you're going to be very helpful.
What's the guy's name from the Marvel guy that has the time that he
Doctor Strange.
We need a Doctor Strange coat.
Doctor Strange cloak. I think somewhere in the house, because of I don't even know exactly why. I think I have a sling ring, but I don't think I have the cloak. Somewhere my child.
If I'm
the sling ring, the thing he wears.
Theme song for the Mach 5.
You do the sparkly circles. Are you not
I
familiar
don't know
with-
what sort of weird Aggie sex device that is, but I'm not going to find out. I'm not going to find out.
No, that's the sling swing, not the sling ring.
It goes right next to a jar that we're not going to name.
Get it straight, man. What are you talking about? What's up, Sal in New York City? We will not complain to you that it's cold in Texas, because I bet it's damn cold where you are.
It was colder here than in New York freaking City.
Rex is just trying to keep Elgin classy, which is tough to do, Rex. Thank you for the attempt on that. All right. There we go. And Randy says derailment chance on the chance top 5. There's always a chance it's going to fall apart. Yes, it is. There's a chance it'll look really bizarre by the end of it, but we will do that. We'll give you that topic coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But again, to reiterate, the good news for you Texas fans, it looks like you got your new running backs coach. It's the West Virginia coach. And as Bo told you, who knows? It might bring with it a running back at some point in the portal. The name Jaheim White is being thrown out.
I'm just
as a possibility.
Great. Or you don't see too many 5'7", 200-pound running backs.
No, you're right. That's the plug. That is the spark plug right there. No doubt about it. And West Virginia is a team that, over the years, they've had some pretty good running backs and running games from time to time, whether, Letty Brown and some of those guys too. And this guy has been there since 2019, has been the OC a little bit as well, not just the running backs coach. So it's a guy with a good bit of experience.
Here's something, and I know you spend a lot more time with Ketch than any of us, but I know it's one of Ketch's kind of high horses is that like a running back coach should be a great recruiter beyond the coaching on the field. The recruiting is a big part. That's the odd part about this hire is this guy's in his 40s. Like this isn't some young up and comer, like guy that played NFL until he was 28 and then got into coaching and he's 32 years old. This guy's like a college football lifer, been around a bunch of programs, doing a bunch of things. This would tell me, beyond just the Jaheim White part of it, which was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I just can't get over the size. What if this is Sark's way of saying, for now, we like our running back room. We just need somebody to squeeze to get these guys in the position to be great. We need an actual on-the-field coach much more than we need a recruiter. Because I'm sorry, recruiting is a young man's game by and large. Like, unless, somebody disagrees with me.
I mean, you said he's 40. I mean, let's not, let's not put him in the old folks home at 40. Tashard Choice is 40.
Yeah, right? But Tashard Choice had the pedigree. Tashard Choice was an NFL running back. Tashard Choice was coming from other programs and had a little more name recognition. There's a reason Tashard Choice is going to the NFL because he was highly sought after. I think this guy is 49 or 50 years old. He's not an NFL. He's not on any NFL list that I could find. He's more of a traditional pure football coach, which tells me that Sark likes what he has in that room. I mean, maybe am I looking at that from the wrong lens, Chance?
I don't think you are. I think there's something, and I've got to be careful how I say this because I don't want it to come off wrong. I think there's something we're all completely missing about this hire because to me, you don't need stability in the program. You don't need stability in that room. So a lifer doesn't fit that bill. He's maybe a better recruiter than we think. Maybe he's got offensive coordinator history in his life and he's done that. And maybe that's what Sark was looking for was that voice of reason that you talked about, that if we're about to go shotgun or pistol with a guy behind me at the 9-yard line when you need one, they'll go, hey, maybe let's not do that here. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I just know this. It's an odd hire for me at the surface, and I haven't done a ton of research. I mean, this information just came out literally before we got on the show. But I will say this. I've come to trust the hires that Sark has made. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why he made this hire. And I think there's something that we're probably all missing in this conversation just because we haven't had a lot of time to digest it. And it wasn't an obvious name that hopped out at us. But that being said, I do trust what Sark is doing. And I think the fact that he was able to make a decision this quick tells me he likes the guy.
Is it possible that it's as simple as what Bo pointed out at the start of the show, that this guy comes package deal with a transfer running back? Like the way that, you know, you recruit a kid out of high school and then his dad gets a job on the staff for a couple of years. And then like, so he's just here runs the kid out. And then it's like, he'll be gone. There'll be somebody else.
Jason, I would agree with that if this was like the next coming of Bijan Robinson for Texas, or this guy would not be the primary back. He's a fire plug. He's a great goal line. He averaged 100 carries for 2 seasons each for West Virginia. Averaged about 800 yards each season. So he is literally the go get 5 yards in a cloud of dust kind of guy. He's not your every down back, or at least that's not how West Virginia utilized him for 2 years. And Texas is potentially returning C.J. Baxter. We don't know how he's going to come back from the injury. Trey Wisner is still on campus. Christian Clark will get healthy. They have guys in that room. So I don't think this is to get a star, but to go where Chance was kind of going there, and I'm going to try to take it a different direction. Sark has done a very good job, in my opinion, of self-scouting himself over the last 3 years. When he sees a deficiency, he's breaking what his tendencies were at some of his other stops. He's basically, I want to say, admitting, hey, I don't know everything about everything. I know the things I know really well, but when I see a mistake here, I'm not just going to try to keep doing what I've been doing. I'm going to go hire somebody that doesn't fit what I normally would do. Just like when he hired Kwiatkowski, most people would not have gone and got Gary Patterson as an analyst, no matter what role that was, to kind of Big 12 Kwiatkowski's scheme to what they were doing. When he went and got Nansen at linebacker, like, he has gone and found the guys that are breaking the mold of what he used to do and being different. Maybe this is just that. This guy likes to run a more power-based scheme. He was an offensive coordinator that ran a heavy run attack. Like, maybe that's the thought. Like, I know how to use guys in motion. I know how to scheme offense, and I know how to coach quarterbacks better than anybody in this freaking country. But maybe I'm not the best power run game guy. Let me go get somebody.
All right.
Well, I mean, it does say, if you're reading West Virginia's, I will say this. If you're reading West Virginia's reporting out of West Virginia sports, I mean, they're touting him as Rich Rod, keeping him on the staff because he's known for furthering the development of running backs, and he's really good with recruiting. That's what Rich Rod said of why he kept him. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to say yay, nay, this is great. I say I trust Sark. I do, and I trust him to get a guy that he feels will come into this locker room, fit in with that group that's in that running back room. And I mean, I trust him to do it until he proves me wrong. I'm good with it. And Sark, I trust.
No, there you go. All right.
I mean, I was mad when Bruce Chambers left. He wasn't even my coach. But then we got Haywood, and Haywood came in and did a good job. He brought new things to the running back room. He brought things to Cedric Benson that improved Cedric's game. It was when these coaches are around and they come out of different coaching trees, they learn different things. They learn, and every player is different of what cues and things click with them to get them to be better, right? Like we see pitchers in Major League Baseball that their spin rate goes through the roof. They've been in the bigs for 4 years. They get a new pitching coach. Now their spin rate's up and they develop a slider.
Yeah. Hey, Chance, let's do this. Since we've got the mock fives, top 5 coming up, hopefully, let's have you maybe reset, jump back, come in. You were kind of pixelating there. Let's pay a bill here, and we will get Chance to reset his deal. And Jason, while he does that, why don't you tell the good folks about what's going on out at Star? Speaking of swinging 99 when you need 199, tell them about Star Ranch.
I'm going to pay the bill. That seems like a questionable choice. Oh, my favorite golf course in all of Central Texas, the golf club at Star Ranch. And it is so cold out there right now. I know. I feel bad that I left you alone out there, baby, all naked. I hope you're doing all right. I know you're doing all right. All right. And that's one of the things that you can always count on at Star Ranch is that the course is going to be in great shape no matter what the weather situation. I'm going to tell you, likely tomorrow, not going to be a good day to play. And the day after that, probably not as good as well. But I think Sunday, the sun will be shining again, and you can hit up the golf club at Star Ranch. And yeah, a perfect place to play if you want to hit it 200 and you accidentally hit it 100. Okay. It is not, or you accidentally hit it over there. All right. It is not so very punitive to the golfers like myself who are not great. If you are a good golfer, we like to say birdie available, eagle available. It's a fun golf course, great layout, great place to host a tournament as well. If you got a charity tournament or something like that that you're looking at, that's the place that you want to go. Golf Club at Star Ranch. And if you want to scan that QR code there or call them 252 Golf, set up a tee time for Sunday, set up your tournament, and I'll see you out there. It's the Golf Club at Star Ranch.
There you go. And we'll bring Mr. Mock back in here. Let's see if we can get everybody. Good grief. Everybody got off. So there we go. Okay. Chance, we good? Talk to me a second.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, much better. Much better. Much clearer. All right. Before we get to the first Mach 5 top 5, we did have another super chat come in from William, $4.99. West Virginia's been really good. Maybe Sark. Doesn't want the Saban effect with coaches leaving every season. Number of coaches on this staff seem content. I think that's definitely been true as well. But, yeah, this is a guy that seems like he's had – the thing I would like about it, fellas, he just in a quick glance, he's had more responsibility than just a running backs coach. And Chance, if you're telling me there's some reports that, you know, Rich Rod digs the guy and there's a development part of it somebody likes and there's recruiting, I mean, I think you got to have some living room skills. Your running backs coach can't have zero living room skills. But, you know, if he's known for some development and he's been calling plays, to Bo's comment earlier, I don't know if Sark is deep down thinking, man, do I need somebody to help me with this red zone stuff? But he should. He should be thinking it and get as many cooks into that kitchen as you can when you are at the 10, the 8, the 2, or God help him, the 1, and you get 4 shots. Get somebody to help you with those shots. He's called plays before, so maybe that's part of it too.
And that was just pure speculation on my part about Jaheim White. I looked it up. So that is what it is. But here's the thing. The old school thinking is that the running back coach needs to be a recruiter. Texas has 2 of the best recruiters in the world, Money and Sark. You have enough with those 2. You don't need a running backs coach that is a recruiting savant. You're recruiting to the University of Texas, 2-time semifinalist, with an offensive guru in Sark and Arch Manning as the damn quarterback for at least the next year or 2. It shouldn't be that hard of a recruit. Like, I'm sorry, look at the running backs that, even though Sark didn't recruit all of them, look at the running back lineage at the University of Texas for the last few years. The backup, Roschon Johnson, was a 2nd-round pick and plays in the NFL. Bijan Robinson, Pro Bowler. Like, there is Deonta Foreman. Like, there's plenty of running backs for the University of Texas. Jaden Blue will get drafted this year. I'm sorry, but maybe they don't need a super recruiter. Maybe they need a better coach.
You say I do no research, but I just fact-checked you. There is no coach money on the Texas staff, all right? Does not on the staff.
Well, Chance had Coach Morey, so, I mean, we're close. It just
not happening.
Draw a little accent they go on the end of the R.
$4.99 from William. Thank you, William, for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Such an ass.
Our man ATX Bait says he's going to be ready for the Mach 5 top 5 because Rogue Gummy and homemade habanero chili engaged. Chad, I ain't going anywhere. Well done. Well done, Bates. Also, to Bates, I'm not even going to read the whole thing, Bates. I'm just going to read the important part. Sark, just please don't go Mac Brown in 2010. Yep, I agree. I don't even care what the rest of what you type. The rest of it, completely irrelevant. I don't even know what the rest of that was. I would agree. Every Texas fan would agree. Don't go Mac Brown in 2010. Whatever you're going to do, don't do that. And one of my favorites, David Keith, breaking it down, says Jaheim White was very productive for West Virginia in 24, actually averaged almost 6 a carry. Nonetheless, I don't know how productive he will be playing in the SEC. Always a big question, David Keith.
Only on the outsiders can we take a guy that's playing in the Big 12 for West Virginia, and we've already produced a stat line and a storyline for the 2025 season in the SEC when he's playing in the Big 12 just because of some stupid crap I threw out there.
There it is. Beautiful. Well done, David Keith. Well done. Just playing right along. All right.
This is my year. I already predicted the Eagles in a rout. I'm predicting Jaheim White to Texas. Take it to the sports
there
book.
it is. Bo is laying the prediction out there. Bates, we see your other super chat, and we will get to that. But we need to get to the next bit of the Outsiders. We've invented it out of thin air. We love saying Mach 5 so much that we tried to come up with something with the Mach 5. So it's the Mach 5 top 5. And as the Outsiders gods would have it, Chance's video and Wi-Fi are freaking out the night we decide to do it. So let's see how this goes. Chance Mach, it is time for the Mach 5 top 5. And tonight's topic, get ready, people. Get ready, chatters, because you can throw in your favorites as well. This is not a discussion of best. This is not a it's not a Mount Rushmore, the top. It's not what it is. This is favorite. The Mach 5 top 5, your favorite Texas basketball players of all time. Men and women both allowed. Chance Mach, give us your Mach 5 top 5.
First of all, I need an intro for the Mach 5 top 5. Everybody should have an intro, right?
Sure.
Bo, please.
I am not singing Dirty Dancing's theme song to because I had the Mach 5. I'm not going to
felt this list before. Yes, I swear it's a few. And we owe it all to you. Come on. That's it. Mach 5. Top 5 and
top 5.
Chance, before you start, you look beautiful out there. Go ahead.
All right. Number 5 on my list of favorite Longhorn basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in a particular order, by the way.
It is. I need to keep track of your order.
Yes.
Okay, you're starting with number 5. Go ahead.
Number 5, hailing out of the great state of Louisiana, just to our east. He played in the years 2000 through 2003. Mr. Brandon Mouton. Wore number 3, Brandon Mouton.
All right, he's going with Mouton to start. It's a thick list already. I like it. What else?
Number 4.
Number 4.
The only white guy on the list.
Oh, racist.
Well, I did have a list of all 5 white guys, and Bo said that probably wouldn't look good, so I needed to change it.
Come on now.
So 4 white dudes got cut, okay?
Damn.
So that's like Jason's basketball career at Round Rock.
Hey.
Randy
I voluntarily quit basketball to play baseball. I was cut from baseball, okay?
All right.
Well, let's just say our friend John David Lewis
for fighting the coach's son.
Hey, let's just say this. John David Lewis got left on the cutting room floor after my no 5 white guys.
Come on.
Boo!
So wrong.
Number 4, just because he was my buddy, Mr. Brian Boddicker.
Okay. Got it.
My boy B. Boddicker. Actually got to see Brian when we were out at the Super Cooper this year. It was great catching up with him.
Okay.
Number 3 and number 2.
Mate.
Huh?
He had the office next to mine.
Well,
for like
all right.
5
Number
years.
3 and number 2. My 2 amigos from the North. They've taught me so much about New York State. They taught me about a New York state of mind, Mr. Royale Ivy and James Thomas.
Wait. What is that? A tie at 3?
No, Royale gets to be 3. JT gets to be 2.
Oh, and Thomas is 2. Okay, I see what you did there. All right, just making sure. Just keeping
JT
it
and I
on.
did a lot more crazy things together.
Got you. Okay.
Okay,
I
and
would,
number
of
1.
those 2, if I'm gonna go do crazy things, I'm gonna go do some crazier things with Thomas because I just feel like we got better protection.
Oh yeah. I went with me and I took JT to get a tattoo one night. It was I think I remember most of it. All right. And number one, because he got me in trouble and I wasn't even in football season. Like he got me in off-season trouble. It was the first time I ever got in off-season trouble, but I didn't like really get in trouble. I got in trouble because me and this guy had a class together and we loved to hang out. And we liked to go to this little place called the Dog and Duck Pub. And we had a lot of fun at the Dog and Duck Pub. Well, unfortunately, he had practice that day. So when I dropped him off at practice, he'd had a couple beverages. And I get a call from my coach who says, Mr. Mock, why am I getting a phone call from Rick Barnes? And I was like, I don't know. What are you talking about? So that is the one and the only who owns like 500 pair of Jordans, PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker gets the #1 spot for Chance Mock. All right.
Chance, if you go Billy Bob and go, he had 10. 10.
He had 10. It was a freaking 10.
It was a 10. All right. There is the first Mock 5 top 5. Now we got to go to I see some of the chats coming in. We will get some of your ideas. Like, for instance, Jess says Doge Balbay. There you go. See? That's your favorite Longhorn basketball player. There are no rules. Doge Balbay has been mentioned. We will go first edit with our man, Jason Dick. Jason, you've heard Chance's list. Mouton, Boddicker, Ivy, Thomas, and Tucker is how he went 5-1. Do you have any issues? Would you like to stamp it? Would you like to make
I got issues.
Would you like to make a trim? What do you need to do?
I got a lot of issues with you people.
First of all, Doge Balbay, if I'm thinking of the right guy, point guard, right?
Yes.
I love this about his game. All right. He's a point guard. His game is based on finesse, 50% from the foul line. I'm like, how can you not make free throws? Okay. You're not a lumbering 7'4" monster. Okay. How can you not make free throws?
But what's funny is he shot 50% from the free throw line and he shot like 45% from behind the arc. Like you put him on a line and it just didn't work.
All right. So I know we said that this is not the best. These are your favorite. Yeah. We really leaned into that, huh? Some of these guys
Did you notice
the original list?
Some of these guys, I was like, I don't even know if I know who that is. Brian Boddicker, with a white cat with a good shooter, right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, can you imagine how good he would have been at shooting if his head wasn't weighed down with all of that gel? If he didn't just have hair gel caked into his hair at all times. Yeah, I'm glad. PJ Tucker's probably my favorite Longhorn basketball player ever. So I'm glad that you have him in #1 as well. So what are the rules here? I get to eliminate one and then put one of mine in.
If you have one, sure.
Give us your thoughts. Making it up as we go along. It was just an excuse for me to sing.
Well, and yeah, you guys were sort of in the same wheelhouse as me because I started making a list starting with our friend JD Lewis, and I can't believe he didn't get in here.
Yeah, JD, I would have had you in there.
I couldn't have 5 white guys.
Yeah, well, and then I just started randomly writing down names, and I wrote J.D. Lewis, and then I wrote Chris Mim, and then I wrote Brad Buckman, and I was like, oh my God, what kind of Aryan Nation team are we assembling here? and so ultimately, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to eliminate. Who was number 2? Jay Thomas.
James Thomas.
James Thomas. Gotta say, I'm a bad Longhorn fan. I don't know how that is. So I'm going to eliminate James Thomas, and I'm going to insert Slater Martin, who I know only because his name hangs in the rafters at, I guess now at the Moody Center. Slater Martin, who played for the Longhorns before photographs were invented. So I have no idea whether he's white, black, Venezuelan. There's no way to find out. So I'm going to put Slater Martin into the number 2 spot.
That is bold. Okay, so Slater Martin has been inserted. Bo Edge with his Occupy left field hat on. Do you have any thoughts on the list now that it is Tucker, Martin, Ivy, Boddicker, and Mouton?
There is going to be a switch. And I know everybody thinks I'm going John David Lewis as well. But that son of a bitch stabbed me with a fork at Buffalo Wild Wings. He ain't my top 5 favorite. That's all we're just going to say about that.
Okay.
It was hard to pass up A.J. Abrams from Round Rock, but here's who we're subbing in. My favorite Longhorn basketball player of all time, Slater Martin, just for the record, Jason, was white. He's too damn old. He's out.
Oh, Slater's out.
Longhorn legend and the true founder of the feast of what became Texas basketball during the Rick Barnes era, my man, Christopher Clack.
Oh, wow. You went with the first. Wasn't Clack the first McDonald's All-American in Texas history? He was the first
McDonald's All-American, and I am proud to get to call Chris a friend on a personal level. He's been a great help with Super Cooper. So my favorite is Chris Clack.
That's
I
not a
think
bad
we should
choice.
go back to Jason at this point, since Jason's one name has been removed,
Uh-huh.
and give him a chance to someone else in.
But hold on. Jason's going to have to deal with JT when he finds out Jason took him off the list. There's not going to be any more Jason. He's going to be obliterated.
Jason, here's the thing. Jason, here's what Jason doesn't know is that our man James Thomas was on Studdard's boat, which is why he doesn't know him because he missed the boat.
There it is. That's it. If you'd gotten on the boat, you'd know who he is.
If you got to the boat,
He could have introduced himself. Hi, I'm James Thomas.
Stabbed me right in the heart.
hey, can you picture it? Jason steps on the boat. Here comes James Thomas in his tank top. I'm the captain now. Get off the boat.
Yeah, that James Thomas shoulder would have gone right upside Jason's temple.
Boniest shoulders of any big man I've ever seen.
Such great shoulders down low. All right, we got some of y'all's ideas for basketball. We're going to throw these in. Before we do that, real quick, ATX Bates wants to give some love with a super chat. Thank you for $4.99, Bates. Props to Vic Schaefer and Texas women's hoops. Absolutely tenacious team with 0 quit, 3 top 10 wins in a row. First team to do that since 05-06 Rutgers. That is absolutely true. Texas all the way up to what, number 2 in women's hoops? I think that's right. Should be 1 probably, but Notre Dame
in softball.
That's 1 as well. Is that 1? Is that 1? I think that's 1 somewhere up there. Yeah.
Ladies are kicking ass, man.
Really good stuff. Yeah. Vic Schaefer's crew, just like the men, a little bit of a rest right now. Men play Saturday. Women don't play again until Monday. But you're right, Bates. Historic run for Vic Schaefer and the women's team right now. All right, let's see some of the names people are throwing out. William is throwing out Durant, Ford, Rory, Stacey Stevens, and McGee Stafford. Oh, I like that list. I'm just as the last arbitrator, I'm just going to ask the question to all of you folks out there. I know that it's not about best, but also in the kind of person we know him to be. Doesn't TJ Ford need to be on this list? Like favorite Longhorns. Not only is he a badass, not only is he like a unlock and open a door and helped a whole lot of stuff happen, and you go to the Final Four. He's TJ Ford. Like, well, I don't know.
That could be true, and you are the arbiter of truth, and the Aggie on the outside that kind of reins us in. This was about our favorites. TJ Ford as a basketball player, yes, he's one of the 5 best. As a person, probably really nice. But I went with someone that I like better and that didn't show my golf tournament 2 years in a row. So
I see what you're doing there. Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. By the way,
either I should be mad at Clack or I should be mad at Ford, because every year Clack's like, Ford's in. And then every year, Ford's out.
William, I love your list. I really like the Stacey Stevens edition. I got to call some of her games, and she was an absolute badass. She's definitely one of my favorites from the women's side of things. Rory, obviously a badass right now. So I like that list. Let's see what else we got here. A.J. Abrams, I think Bo might have mentioned him earlier. Abrams, Matt Coleman, DJ Augustine, and a little Shea Holly on the end from Jess. Not bad. How about for the BMW crowd? Little Lance Blanks, Travis Mays, huh?
Lance Blanks is from the Woodlands.
There you go.
And I think that's part of it being favorites and not best. If they were before our time, I have no opinion. Like, when did I dislike Slater Martin? I don't know the guy. I don't have any memories of him doing anything. So how's he going to be in my favorites?
Right, but BMW, you saw that happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, use your imagination, okay? When I look up into the rafters, when I look up in the rafters and I see Slater Martin's jersey hanging there, I close my eyes and I just picture him throwing down 360 dunks. I assume that's what he did.
And BJ Tyler and James Thomas was a scrapper, but there has been no better scrapper that was a good ball player at Texas than Jacobin Brown. That was somebody that you did not want to get in a fight with if you were the other team.
Yeah, that's true. If we're talking about all-time basketball enforcers, that might be
on that note. I Googled James Thomas, and I just want to say you can get back on the list, man. You're good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, That is a great
I
intimidation
don't think he's
factor.
going to text in and tell you you're coming on the boat next time. I'm pretty sure at the tailgate, Casey informed us he does not own a boat.
That is fantastic. Wow. I did not know this. Is this one true, guys? Look, Chris Bennett trying to throw a little some love updates. Shay Holly dating Garrett Wilson? Wow. Okay. Not saying they're going to have kids, but you want to talk about a genetic lottery for that kid. Woo! Come on now. Might be it. Here's Kyle jumping in with a PJ Tucker, Kevin Durant, Royale, TJ, and Trey Johnson. That covers a lot of ground, Kyle.
It does.
It's not bad. So here's I'll tell you my concern right now, guys, is I'm going to show my time frame bias. And if my ultimate arbitration ends up, I think I'm going to end up with like the starting 5 from 03. Like, I feel like, because if I agree with Chance, it's not truly just 03, but it's that time. If I agree with Chance that PJ Tucker stays in, and I'm okay with Bo going with Clack, that gets us a little further back. But I dig Royale Ivy. Like when Chance said his name, as an outsider to this discussion, that's my favorite Longhorn basketball player ever. Maybe because I got to call some of his games. Maybe because I had a great conversation with him on a plane coming back from Alaska, where he told me about them wanting to beat up the entire Indiana team and what happened in the trenches. But I just love Royale. So I got to have him in there. And I'm leaning towards either removing Boddicker or Mouton for TJ Ford, because he's TJ Ford.
That's
also
fair.
A guy that I enjoyed interacting with. I think he was a great dude, fun to watch, all that stuff. He's TJ Ford. So that's my only concern right now, that we may be leaning a little too hard towards the 2000s with this discussion.
So on his behalf, I will say, if the thing you liked about Brian Boddicker was his Rick Rossovich Iceman style spike haircut that he rocked in that time, he now has hair like Ronnie Bass Sunshine from Remember the Titans, like long flowing locks. So if you don't want the flowing locks, you can bump body and put in TJ.
Okay, I think I may have to do
take out
that.
Brandon Mouton. That guy was so awesome.
Okay, you want to leave Mouton in?
If it's between body and Mouton, I'm taking out the body.
All right. Hey, here it is. This is for Chance. Chance, you put them both in. If we can't have Mouton and James Thomas, who's out?
It looks like the 5th white guy is going to the cutting room floor.
No, wait a minute. No,
he's already out. Okay.
We already gave him the boot.
If we already replaced Boddicker with TJ Ford,
Okay.
What I'm saying to you is, if I look at this and I say, well, maybe we get James Thomas back in, or get him back in and Mouton's out, or do we leave Mouton in and James Thomas stays out?
JT's got to stay.
JT's got to stay. Okay,
Yep.
so we're going to do James Thomas. All right, if James Thomas is in, that would mean
Just because that boat party was so awesome. Like, I can't even begin to tell y'all how freaking good it was. It was incredible.
That means Mouton and Boddicker are both out. You're going to have to let them know.
They're going to make a 30 for 30 about that boat party one day, and it's going to be incredible.
Oh, man, you know what? Chris Bennett's got it. How did we not think of Drew
I think we owe it
on.
to our audience for Jason to reset the Casey Studdard boat party story.
Well, the short version is that Casey and I were acquaintances, not really friends, and I ran into him on his birthday party on 6th Street one night, and I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, Casey, what's up? You were on the radio with me one time." And he's like, "I know who you are." And I was like, "Oh, what's up?" And then we drank a beer, and he's like, "We're all going on the boat tomorrow. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go on the boat." And he's like, "All right, I'll text you the details." And I then tucked in my behavior the rest of the night so that I was fresh for Saturday. And I get up and I pull on my trunks and just sit by the phone. And I wait. And I waited and I waited and I waited. And it was a goddamn decade later on The Outsiders when I finally was like, "Casey, what happened with the boat?" And he's like, "I don't know, man. It was my birthday. I was drunk." But I did not get the details on the boat party.
Yeah,
I think you got all the details Casey had to provide because he was probably drunk.
He probably was. Y'all keep throwing names in. We have not officially decided what it's going to be yet. So we'll get more of that in. We're going to pay some bills here and get to it in a second. While you're still send us stuff. We want to make sure you're sending in all of this. I'm going to show everybody some last stand hats, Texas baseball going on. This is my favorite Texas baseball section right here. Grandpa and you going to the game together like that. By the way, see this hat here? It reminds me of a grandpa going to a Texas baseball game. Here's your PSA, kids. Don't let grandpa go into this season without ESPN Plus. Grandpa might have had LHN. LHN doesn't do him any damn good anymore. There's 37 games on ESPN Plus. Get your grandpa, get your uncle, get your great aunt an ESPN Plus subscription or access to one, or they're going to be really pissed off this season. But check out Last Stand hats, and you will never be pissed off when it comes to Texas baseball. Down here, they got another one for you. Look at that baseball number there. And we got one more. Where is it? The Omaha. Yeah, a little Omaha vibe. If you want to do that, they've got all kinds of great stuff. They are still not letting me check on UTEP. There you go. Still not letting me check. Good job. Good job, guys. Last Stand hats. They are the true fans brand. And we even got a code for you if you want to get one of these cool Outsiders hats. Yep. 10, should be 12. There you go. Bo's got the black one there. We got 12 different color combos for you. Use Outsiders 10 as your promo code. Use that Outsiders 10 code on anything. It might work. Never know. Give it a shot. Thanks to Last Stand hats for being so supportive to us, being a great partner to the Outsiders. We've got people throwing in ATX Bates with a casting choice. Chris Farley as Casey Stuttered in the boat. 430 for 30. Is this the new pattern? Or every time we have a casting discussion, is it only dead people? Is that what we're going to do?
It's like our Sixth Sense movie game. I see dead people.
Outsiders dead casting. That's our new thing.
Has Chris Farley been in the afterlife doing push-ups ever since? Because Casey is a big guy, but he's built. Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good call, Jason. That's an insult. I like how you're trying to get back on the boat, even though it may never happen. Good job. Yeah.
Casey, I say Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa would be perfect for you.
I think they were saying Chris Farley played you in the Casey version of the boat.
That might be
like
it.
Marquette Rugby, Chris Farley is Jason walking up to the boat dock.
Oh, that is fantastic. Fantastic, Chris Bennett. El Nino, Spanish for the Nino. Yeah. Let's see. Here's a couple other names thrown in. Chris Owens, Damian James. I did like me some Damian James. LaMarcus Aldridge and Jericho Sims. The night Damian James said the P word on the radio post game. Oh, mwah. Were you guys listening when that one happened?
No.
One of my favorite moments, driving home from the station, or I can't remember what was the circumstance where maybe I'd been at a game. I'm driving home. I hear him on. He's had a great game. And Craig Way asks him, what did Coach Barnes say to you? Or what did he say to you guys at halftime? And Damian James clears a bell, said, he told us to stop being a bunch of, and then he said the P word. It was fantastic. Damian James, if you're out there.
How did Craig, total professional, handle it? He just kept going?
Craig, it was perfect. He just kept going.
Yeah.
He kept going. I would have just laughed and rolled on the floor.
Chad, I'm trying to jog my memory banks. Were you with John David Lewis and I at the NBA All-Star game in Houston when Kevin Durant saved our ass from getting escorted out in a very unfriendly manner?
I was, yes. Yeah. That's the year. That was like 2013 in Houston.
2014, I think. It was on Valentine's Day weekend. That's when me and JD decided to go to the lower level. And we were sitting on the floor in apparently the Oklahoma City Thunder's owner's seats that his kids were using.
I remember it. I do remember it.
We were sitting there, and all of a sudden we watched the whole pregame, and like Bill Russell comes in, and all these NBA stars are walking right by us, and everything's fun. And JD's like, "We're gonna get in trouble," and I'm like, we're good. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. 5 minutes later, there's like 4 security guards coming to our section. And who walks in at that magic moment? I guess I should add him to my favorites because he saved our ass that night. One Kevin Durant comes walking in with Russell Westbrook and some rapper I've never heard of named Wally or Wale.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like that one moment where like, John David, if you aren't full of shit, this is going to be okay. And sure enough, he raises his hand and Durant comes down and gives JD a big hug. Westbrook's like dapping it up with like me. And they turn around and like security guards like, he's with me. But Durant and all them go sit down on the floor to watch because they did like all the players were sitting on the actual wood. But I'm like, wow, that just saved our bacon. And then on the absolute opposite side of that was Kevin Durant was talking with JD and he's like, yeah, y'all should hook up with us after the game. We're got a party and we're going to do all these things. And we're like, yeah.
All for that.
We go to a bar to wait for all this crap to be over and JD's texting. No response. Calling, no response.
Yeah, they were on a boat with Casey Stutter, and y'all weren't.
I think James Thomas picked them up in a boat in Galveston.
That's what happened on that one. That is it. Thank y'all for jumping in on the basketball conversation. All right, does anybody else have any thoughts? Now, Bo, you told that story. Would you like to try to shoehorn Kevin Durant in here? Because he is obviously one of the best players ever.
No, that's for my own personal edification. It was a funny ass story, but it was more at the expense of JD Lewis than it was.
Okay.
Like, I'm giving Russell Westbrook and who was the other guy? Kevin Lee. You remember him?
Kevin Lee from the Knicks.
Guy?
Played for the Knicks.
Chances all white team. Not Kevin Love. Kevin Lee.
Right. Played for the Knicks, right?
Yes.
And was married to wasn't he married to like a tennis player, basketball?
I don't know who he was married to in the future, but that night he brought a woman that made every single guy there jump out of their seat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I remember him being there. Yeah.
Yeah. They came in as a pack. Like it was right before Durant jumped over to Golden State. So maybe they were laying the groundwork or I don't know. But it was Westbrook. There was no Harden. Shocking because the strip club was right down the road. But maybe that's why he was already there.
It's Hot Houston, wings. Bo. There's one at every corner of every block.
That's true. That is true.
He is going for the hot wings, kids. All right. So as the
quantity over quality, clearly.
As the arbitrator of truth, I'm about ready to rule. All right.
All right. I'm gonna see here.
Here's the ruling. We are going to adjust in this manner. The broad shoulders of James Thomas will be in the 5 slot. We will have TJ Ford in the 4 slot because maybe he didn't say yes to a golf tournament once or twice, but he's got to be on the list. My man Royale Ivy will stay at 3. We're going to put Chris Clack in at the 2 spot. McDonald's All-American. I like the call from Bo. Plus, I've met and talked to Chris Clack, and he gave me the time of day in a way no one necessarily has to. That's a nice dude. Chris Clack, nothing but class. And I'll leave PJ Tucker on top for you, Chance. Because PJ Tucker, when we're talking favorites of Longhorn basketball, I don't know many Longhorn fans that would turn away from that idea. Even if PJ's not their number one, he's that type of dude. Fun to watch. Just everything about him was that. It was a favorite kind of ingredient. So I'll let PJ Tucker stay on top of the mountain. There's the decision. There's your first mock 5, top 5.
You go, arbiter of truth.
I really like it. There it is. There's your arbiter of truth. All right. Let's we'll get a couple more chats in before we get out of here. We also have one more of our partners to thank here. And Bo, it is the G&G folks. Tell them about Gold and Griff if they don't know what it's all about.
Gold and Griff right there. Gold and Griff, this is what they do. They bring professional contracting services at an affordable price at your house. They solve your problems. Need a TV hung, need some drywall repairs, need some painting done, need a garage door rehung, whatever you need that your significant other is bugging you about, Golden Griff will come out and take care of it. He's a professional contractor by day, but on nights and weekends, this is his attempt to build his own business. And it's a great attempt, and he's a great man. His name is Billy. Golden Griff has already helped not one, but 2 different outsiders who have emailed me directly or direct message on Twitter to let me know. I think so much of him. He did a complete remodel on my house a few years back, and now I got him coming over to redo Razor's man cave, as Razor is now 13 years old and needs a different room to play video games in that doesn't look like a 6-year-old. Billy's the first call I made. 733-9789. Scan the QR code right there. If you want it done right and not somebody that's just going to sub it out and not even be there, Billy will be there from start to finish. If there's subs needed, he'll hire them. But Billy is the guy to get your house where you want it to be. Gold and Griff.
So, Bo, let me make sure I'm understanding this. Razor is already kind of my hero and many people's hero. Are you telling me he's a 13-year-old that said, Dad, I need a man cave, and he's going to get one?
It was essentially how he phrased it. Yes.
Wow.
Let's just say in the course of time, Razor has accumulated a pretty good treasure trove of memorabilia and items and framed jerseys and things like that. And he basically said, I want to redesign it and I want to prominently put all these different things on the wall. And I want my TV on the wall. And I also want a gaming desk. And I think the list just kept growing and growing and growing.
Man.
He's got a birthday in July. So the plan was he will have a transformed man cave to play video games with his little football buddies and rock out.
That is awesome.
If he's hanging out in that man cave, I'm not worried about little Razors and I'm not worried about too much alcohol because I keep it all. So like he's gonna have to come through me to get the booze.
That's impressive. This year I'll be married 22 years. If I told my wife that, she'd just say no. So well done, Razor. Well done, sir.
Chad, if you know anything about me, I say yes a lot.
That's
if
good.
it involves having fun in sports, I'm pretty much let's go.
That is fantastic. Before we get out, man, that is good. I like it. Hang on, let's see what else. Our man ATX Bates is throwing. I like it when Bates does gummies and chili. Apparently, that's a good combo. A lot of good super chats. Thank you, Bates. $4.99. My ATX Baton Oddball 8. Lance Blanks, Chris Clack, TJ, Damian James, Chris Mim, and on my bench, Ivy KD, Brandy Perryman, my great white hope. Brandy Perry. He didn't even finish the name. Just Brandy Perry.
It's hard to type on chili and gummies and Brandy Perryman.
It is.
Speaking of names, and I hate to keep playing fact checker, but it was driving me nuts, and maybe there's a viewer who's in the same boat. I did some furious Googling and research. David Lee. David Lee. I was like, Kevin Lee did not play. I know the guy you're talking about. Played for the Warriors,
and he was a Golden State Warrior, and then a Knicks.
David Lee.
Yes. Did you happen to find, Jason, the like female athlete he was associated with that I couldn't think of?
No, I didn't go that deep. I just wanted to know his name because I knew it wasn't Kevin. I was like,
I'm seeing like a blonde, either tennis player or basketball player for some reason.
It's
with
attention to the detail that makes you better than me, Jason. Not at everything, but in this particular realm, you're way better. I get the salient details kind of right, and the stories all line up. And if you ask me the same story, I'll tell it 100 times over. Sometimes I'm not good with names. Maybe it's because I drink a lot of whiskey during these stories.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, Chad was there. The one thing I came away with from that was even better than that was, you remember when we were standing in the tunnel and there was Yao Ming, Shaquille O'Neal, and Wilt Chamberlain?
I was not with you guys at that moment.
That may have just been John David.
I would love to tell that story. I think that was after Kevin Durant vouched for J.D. Lewis. I was not around for that moment.
It was like Chance's Russian nesting dolls, the size differential. I would have never envisioned a world where Yao Ming made Shaquille O'Neal look like a munchkin.
It's crazy.
And he did. And Shaquille O'Neal made Wilt Chamberlain look, or not, it wasn't Wilt, it was Bill Russell. Shaq made Bill Russell look like a munchkin. And Yao made Shaq look like a munchkin. It gave me a whole newfound respect for what Yao Ming's game actually was.
Yeah, for a second there, you almost did one of your Bo casting calls because I do think Wilt Chamberlain would have been dead by 2013 or 14.
Once again, salient details. Story right. Some of the names, right?
Wow. Shaq is a little taller than Wilt's hologram. Look at that. That's crazy.
You get the point.
I know. I do. I get the point. All right. Before we get – there it is. There it is. See there? You see? Chris Bennett's helping me out. Caroline Wozniacki.
Yeah.
Oh, you might maybe so Chris Bennett, after the Rory thing fell apart, maybe she ended up with David Lee. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can assure you, and this is no knock on Caroline Wozniacki, the woman that was there with David Lee that night was not Caroline Wozniacki.
No. Yeah, I don't know if he was with her then. I think eventually.
No, we're just.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
By the way, since we're talking other sports, before we get out of here, how freaking badass is Four Nations, and how badass was that game Saturday night? Like 3 fights in the first 9 seconds was freaking awesome.
That's
You
cool.
know, if you did that every game, they'd get a lot more attendance.
Y'all watching the final tomorrow?
Oh yeah, it's going to be in Boston. That crowd's going to be awesome.
Oh, I didn't realize the final had moved. I thought they were still in Canada. The final's in Boston?
Mm-hmm.
I have used my powers of deduction to determine you guys are talking about hockey.
That is true. That is true. Jason, you didn't see it the other night? 9 seconds. They had 3 fights.
Yeah. I'm aware. No.
That's good.
Jason, it's a highlight tournament. Don't worry about it.
And the Kachuk brothers were involved. It was like a movie. It was awesome. It was so good. And afterwards, they all claimed that they didn't know it was going to happen. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It was organic, man.
You know, the only problem with an awesome hockey fight is when it's over, they start playing hockey.
Yes. That's true. They
Sorry.
do.
Hockey hater. Hockey.
That's the question for tomorrow night is, are you going to watch that hockey?
That you just don't understand.
God, that's true. That's true.
Dude, when I watch hockey, I have a whole lot of respect for the Swifties when I watch hockey, because it has to be how they feel watching football, because I have no idea what's going on. I just know the team that I want to score. And then when I want to see fights, that's it. When they call a penalty and the ref gets out there, I'm like, I don't know what that is. But I know when the little black puck goes into the little net, that's good.
All I know about the hockey rules, I learned playing Sega Genesis hockey when I was in high school. So that's how you figured out what icing was after you had it called on you so many damn times. That game was fun, by the way.
NHL 2K, you could turn the icing off. That was step 1. Okay.
Oh, then you could snowbird and make it awesome.
Heck yeah.
Hockey is amazing to watch in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as fun to watch on I'll be watching tomorrow night, but it's tough to watch on TV. You can't follow the puck well enough to truly see the artistry that they're doing. In person, you can see it much better.
Well, and do y'all remember when TV attempted, and I say it was a very weak attempt, but they attempted to use that laser tracker on the puck during TV. It made it harder to watch. I'm like, it just looked like a little...
The glowing puck, yeah. You could see it when it was on the boards a little bit better, but yeah, you're right. It was a little tough. It was a little tough. They say they were trying. Hockey's done a good job of trying to make themselves more watchable.
It is such a great sport, though, to watch in person. And when I was playing with the Wranglers and we'd go out to the Cedar Park Arena out there and they'd give us tickets on the glass, and I'd go to every game that I could, and I'd sit on the glass, and I was that fan banging on the glass. And I mean, they're phenomenal athletes when you see how fast these dudes are, number one. Number two, they look enormous. I mean, most of them are like 6'5" anyway, but then you put them on 5 inches of skates, and then you put all that padding on them with the helmet. I mean, they're like giants out there colliding with each other. It's freaking badass in person.
I like Randy's comment to maybe finish off. 2 minutes for roughing the passer. There you go. There it is.
Football power play. Now we're talking.
No, that would. Hold on. I know we got to go, but Chance, what do you think? Roughing any kind of penalty for roughing or targeting, you don't get kicked out of the game. It's not 15 yards. The defense has to play a man down for 2 minutes. You want to talk about hurry up offense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's worth way more than 15 yards, right?
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right.
You got dumbass. You're gonna have to stand there and watch your team get eviscerated down the field.
Yeah, that's what you at that point, Bo. That's when the defensive coordinator and the defensive team, they do everything they can to elongate, to lengthen that situation. How long do we have to sub? How long do we have to figure this out?
Or just like in hockey, what happens if two guys go, chop block? Offense loses two offensive linemen on one for 2 minutes.
See, that's what I've always thought. I've always had a thought of, if you really want, I hate the idea of throwing a defensive player out in football for like a targeting or whatever it is. If you really want to do that, I've always thought just make it like 5 plays. Make it a number of snaps. For the next this many snaps of that team, you have to go stand over there, and then you can come back in. Like, if you really can, you just
I don't like the injections.
Like,
I don't. I think
like to sit out for a specified period of time.
Yeah, make it like hockey where you're out for a little bit. I'd make it snaps, not time, because time, Chance knows, like the time on the clock, you could figure out a way to mess with that a little bit. I'd make it snaps, Chance, like the next 5 or 10 snaps, you're just not playing. And then if you need
I think that'd be significantly better. I don't like ejections for targeting. I don't, especially when it's such a subjective penalty right now. I mean, we look at what the geniuses at On3 had the worst call of the year. I mean, that was, you can look at that thing in person. I thought it was targeting. I saw the review and I was like, ooh, maybe that's not targeting. And then I could find justifications for it. I can find justifications against it. When it's that subjective, you can't kick a kid out of the game. I just don't agree with that.
No, I don't either. I think that ejection should be for very specific things. Throwing a punch, going Myles Garrett and throwing your helmet at somebody, not throwing, swinging like a weapon. That should get you kicked out of a game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Egregious. Like, it has to be like way beyond any threshold. I guess the way I would say it, if you put 10 guys in a room, all 10 would agree that son of a bitch has to leave the game. Like, there was no accident. He was trying to hurt. I mean, and I would go for that, like when they go at a lineman's knees, like when the offensive lineman goes at a true chop block that is designed to hurt, you get your ass thrown out too.
All right, Bo, before we get out of here, I know there's something else that you wanted to mention. It is, man, it's coming up quick this time of year. And I remember this time with the tournament last year, something I know that's close to your heart. Longhorn baseball fans know the name very well, but the Jeff Onoveris tournament is back.
Jeff Onoveris tournament is back. It's going to be Saturday, April 26th at Forest Creek Golf Course. You can scan the QR code right there. You can go on Facebook or the internet and find Jeff Onoveris Field of Dreams. It's a really fun golf tournament. And Jeff was just an awesome guy. He was a friend of mine from when we were 10 years old, went to Round Rock High. Jason knew him. He was just a big, fun guy that had a great ability, he was a great baseball player. But he was beyond that as a human being, and he died way too young, and his wife and his daughter started this tournament last year to honor him. And I'm sorry, it gets me every single time because, like I said, Jeff was someone I grew up with. All joking aside, it's a great event to honor his legacy by helping him underprivileged kids get into sports. So Jeff Onoveris Field of Dreams. And as an added bonus, the champion of the first original Jeff Onoveris Field of Dreams tournament was captained by me. It was me, my boy Josh Hobby, Blair Howell, and new guy Evan Conair. So if you want to come take a shot at the title, April 26th, Forest Creek, it's the Jeff Onoveris Field of Dreams. Sign up now. Message me on Twitter, email, whatever. If you want more details, I'll send it your way.
There you have it. Longhorn baseball gotten that game canceled last night, but they got the Dartmouth series coming up this weekend. Hopefully it'll warm up enough to have those games. Thanks to everybody for jumping in the chat tonight and helping us with the basketball conversation. Let's see. We did get Travis Mays mentioned earlier. Travis was nice as hell to me back in the day. Nobody ever wore a bow tie better. Also, quick shout out to Jamie Carey and what's her name? And Kenya Larkin, two of my favorites on the women's side. Didn't have to be as nice to me as they were. Kenya was just in town with that LSU women's team. It didn't go as well as Kenya wanted it to, but she's a sweetheart. She's one of the best that ever played at Texas, has a real cool story. And she was really, really cool to follow and do games for. And Jamie Carey, just one of my favorite badass athletes of all time. So shout out to Jamie, whatever she's doing right now. All right. Let's see. I think we got it all. I think we got it all covered. No more super chats. I see. Everybody good? Speak now. Hold your peace. Got it. We're good. All right. Our first mock 5, top 5 happened. We may do one of those next week. You never know. Our man Blake, the super producer, he may jump in unless he's offended by the Veronica Corningstone thing. And ATX Bates next week will probably hit some more gummies and send us some more weird super chats. That's what we're counting on now from you, ATX Bates. And Bo and the show will continue to deadcast everything. We're just going to start deadcasting every movie known to man.
I didn't do that. I was not a part of that.
That's our new thing. Deadcasting on The Outsiders. It is the only thing we'll allow moving forward. Y'all have a great week. And stay warm. My God, it is super cold all over. Maybe not all over the entire state, but it feels like it's the whole damn state. Chance, what's it like in the Woodlands today? It was like 20 here.
It's 26 right now.
26. Good God in heaven. Everybody stay warm, bundle up. We'll talk to you next Wednesday night at 8:30. Again, you got a new Chad on the block, Longhorn fans. The report is that Chad Scott is going to be your new running backs coach, the former running backs coach at West Virginia. And we'll be talking about that on Orange Bloods Live, I'm sure, over the next couple of days. Check out orangebloods.com for Anwar's reporting on that and the very latest reaction to that move, as the staff now feels stabilized for what we thought was stabilized maybe a couple shows ago, and now feels like it's stabilized again with a new running backs coach. So more on that, I'm sure, coming next week. All right. Until next week, until next Wednesday night at 8:30. For The Outsiders, brought to you by Poncho. I got to show you the spring shirts one more time. Think warm. Think warm. Get you a spring short sleeve shirt. You don't even have to go with the mother of pearl snaps that we love. If you want to go straight, the old school buttons, go old school buttons. Mother of pearl snap, either way, whatever you want to do. But the short sleeves, it'll make you think of springtime. Order you up that Bat Masterson with the flower design, or maybe the Pinos Altos like I've got on tonight. Get it ordered. Make sure you mention Outsiders or Orange Bloods Live when you place that order. PonchoOutdoors.com. Now we got it all done. Until next Wednesday at 8:30, we are The Outsiders. We are well dressed in poncho, and we are legitimately worth